Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Cynple, and on my channel we talk about the wonders of nature and their benefits for healthy hair, skin, nails, gut health, and so many other things. As a licensed cosmetologist, herbalist, research scientist, and entrepreneur, I'm always jumping around from hat to hat. Today we'll be understanding hydro fatigue, heat styling damage, and the magnificent power of leave-in conditioner. So if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll unpack how everybody got so confused and what you can do, some really practical uses and practical knowledge that you can use to reverse your mental team natural brainwash. So if you're ready to go, let's go. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and subscribe here to my channel and then click on that bell notification so you're notified every single time I post another video. First, I'm gonna start with the information that you kind of think you already knew, the boogeyman information that has everybody so freaking scared of blow dryers, flat irons, and all of that. They gave you guys bits and pieces, and today I'm going to give you the whole holistic piece. Now, we've already talked about hydro fatigue in this video here, but in short, hydro fatigue is the swelling and unswelling of the hair shaft constantly. This is due to the fibers that are your hair shaft, due to the constant swelling and contracting of the hair shaft, the cuticle opening and closing, the follicle swelling and unswelling over and over again. This is due to the wetting and drying of the hair and its cycles. So please write that down. The wetting and drying of the hair and its cycles. Think of the stress that your hair experiences constantly being wet and then dried and then wet and then dried and then wet and then dried over and over again. Remember that your hair is a fiber that is weakest when it is wet because it's made of 3 bonds. One of those bonds being the hydrogen bond broken by water. Water, H2O. The hair is weakest when wet, and so when the hair again swells and contracts over and over again, it makes the fibers weaker, especially if the practices of the swelling and the contractions are not done properly. Because stick with me, the leave-in conditioner is coming soon. Stick with me. Over time, this can cause a lot of stress to the hair shaft, and then you'll notice the breaking, the thinning, and the loss of elasticity. You may even notice what looks like heat damage, even though you've never even used heat. You'll just notice that your curls are falling and becoming more limp. Well, it is a long-term result of hydro fatigue, which is also a form of hair weathering. On my channel, I've been saying for over a decade that hair weathering takes anywhere between 6 months and 25 years to show up. Hair hydro fatigue is one of many forms of hair weathering. Let's keep going. Now that we understand hydro fatigue and the hair shaft and the swelling and the unswelling, let's tackle heat tools and blow dryers and flat irons and how this is the corporate and how heat damage and hot tools can be really the devil for your hair. They really can. Let's break down how. And now a word from our sponsor, Cynple Apothecary. Let's go over how to use blue butterfly pea flower. You're going to add a little bit of maple syrup after you brew the tea, of course, and then put them in your molds, right? And after you do that, once you freeze them, they are already sweetened. So all you have to do is add a lemon, right? Remember, when you add lemon, it's going to change it from that rich blue color to like a really rich, bright purple color, right? It's really beautiful, but you don't have to add any additional sweetener because your sweetener is already in the cube, and this is going to last, right? Next up, we're going to add a little bit of almond milk. After that almond milk, I'm going to follow up with creamer. Now remember, if you like it super duper sweet like me, you can add creamer that has sweetener, but remember, the cubes already have maple syrup in it, so it's going to be real sweet if you add a lot. But this is how they end up turning out. I'm gonna show you guys like a little fancier clip coming really soon, but I just wanted to show you like my personal one. Like, so now that the straw is in here, Just take a little sip. Don't find your mama at the bottom of my cup. She not in there. Just take a little sip. But look at how pretty that color is. Oh my God, you'll be in love. I said a little sip. Your mama, did you find her? Okay, let's go ahead and try the other one. It is so good. This one, summertime, you're looking for a sweet drink. You already drunk it. Okay. Now, we've all done it, right? Everybody's been guilty of it when you just don't feel like blow drying your hair, or you just had your hands up there for just entirely too long, and after your hair will still be a little wet or a little damp, but you'll still go through and you'll flat iron your hair. Or you're somebody who thinks that blow dryers are the devil, so you'll skip over blow drying entirely and you'll just use plates, right, to stretch out your hair, and you just trust that all of these 100,000 to 400,000 strands of hair are all dried 100% at the same time. Well, if you have any of those 100,000 to 500,000 fibers that you just stretched out, and if any of those are not 100% dry, it is the silent killer and the easiest way to wreak havoc on the human hair shaft. And down the line, hair weathering shows up, but again, it takes anywhere between 6 months to 25 years to show up. Now, the combination of heat and moisture through the blow drying process, it really accelerates the evaporation process on the hair shaft, and by doing that, you're leading to excessive swelling and contraction of the hair shaft, right? So this is where most people on social media got that blow drying your hair is bad, or that blow dryers are bad, because they read this portion of it without any of the understanding, education that goes behind it, and they just stopped here and said, whoa, well, blow dryers are bad because the constant swelling, it ends up messing up fibers. You read what I just read, but let's keep going, because I'm going to show you guys how people miss bits and pieces and how you guys really only see what you want to see. Over time of blow drying your hair over and over again, or even using heat styling tools with just however you want to use them without proper practices, right, what'll happen is it'll lead to your hair being really broken, dry, damaged, frizzy, all of that stuff, right? But have no fear, because leave-in conditioner is here, baby. That's why you go to cosmetology school, because when you go to cosmetology school, right, depending on what school you go to, and then everything that I learned, please trust and believe, I did not learn everything inside of cosmetology school, but good cosmetologists keep going further and they keep educating themselves, right? So as you go on and you keep educating yourself, or when you're in school, you learn problems and solutions, right? It's not just, oh, everything's perfect. No, you learn troubleshooting when you're in school, right? So when you're in school and when you're going over heat tools, it's not as simplistic as picking up a heat tool and just putting it in your hair. No, we understand everything that I just taught you about hydro fatigue, about blow drying, but again, everybody stopped here. And in the midst of, right, in the midst of blow dryers and flat irons being the devil, we also said that we don't need leave-in conditioners anymore. And one of a really viral search keyword on YouTube is just typing in no leave-in conditioners. It was a whole like viral fad, and this is why that's a problem. So let's talk about leave-in conditioners. I'm gonna leave a video. I'll leave the video link in the description box below, but I did a full live lecture on hair polymers and what polymers are, and leave-in conditioners are one of those, right? So let's break down how this polymer works. Now, leave-in conditioners are like a cosmetologist, a good cosmetologist, their number one weapon and my number one ally in the hair salon. Without a leave-in conditioner, conditioner, we can't do nothing. It offers a magnitude of benefits, and two of its main benefits, right, that everybody's always searching for is heat protection and hydration, because hydration is for the cortex of the hair shaft, and when the hair is wet and it's been detoxed and clarified, the cuticle is wide open, and the chemical complex of leave-in conditioners are small enough, the molecules, are small enough to go within the cuticle and go within the cortex of the hair shaft to impart the hydration that the hair shaft needs. Make sure you check this video here, link in the description box below if I don't put it there, to know this, to understand the difference between moisture and hydration, because I already broke that down, right? So when we're talking about leave-in conditioner, the cuticle is already open. The leave-in conditioner acts as hydration for the hair's cortex, right? And it also acts as heat protection for the blow dryer. Kimra is one of my favorite leave-in conditioners, and as you can see here on the screen, Kimra's leave-in conditioner has heat protection. Kimra's leave-in conditioner has heat protection for up to 450 degrees. So if I'm making up that leave-in conditioners are heat protectors, then so is Kimra and every other hair company out here. Understand what heat protection means on each level, right? So let's keep moving along. Not only do leave-in conditioners, depending on their chemical complex, do they penetrate the cortex for hydration, leave-in conditioners also act as a moisturizer. Everybody's looking for good moisturizers and stuff, but the number one way to impart moisture and hydration into the human hair shaft is to use a leave-in conditioner, you guys. It is literally the easiest way to impart hydration and moisture into the human hair shaft. Again, watch this video so you can understand what moisture and hydration actually are, because they're very different. Now, sealing in moisture through the blowout process helps with evaporation. So if your hair isn't drying as fast because of the leave-in conditioner, then you're not worried about your hair swelling and contracting as many times over and over again, right? But a lot of times you'll notice a lot of people are like, oh, my hair dries so fast. No matter what I do, my hair dries so fast. Well, we just talked about why. Number two is going to be heat protection, no matter what anybody says. I'm telling you, if you come across a channel that's like, Sans making stuff up, she's lying, leave-in conditioners are not heat protectors, you have met someone who stopped at cosmetology school. Once they got their cosmetology license, that was it. They did no further educating themselves outside of what they learned at state board, because let's be honest, state board is not going over the chemical complex of leave-in conditioners. They're not going over really the difference, the hardcore difference between a leave-in conditioner and a conditioner. They're not. You learn the basics that you need to learn to pass state board, and that's it. So if you are coming up against, or if you're meeting people who are like, no, that's wrong, debunk. I mean, if those are the videos that you want to watch, go ahead and do that. But this is the thing. Everything that comes out of my mouth, you can go research yourself. Do not go research on ChatGPT. Don't research on Google, regular Google. When you go on Google, you type in whatever thing you're trying to search, and at the end of it, you put .edu. Google is going to give you the part of Google that students and scientists are actually looking at, right? They're not going to give you old Team Natural YouTube, because if you just type in on regular Google, you're going to get Team Natural YouTube, and the thing is, it's not going to give you the instant gratification that you need. You're going to have to go digging deeper and really unpack some information and understand, get to know your body, your scalp's profile, your hair's profile, and then build on top of that. The majority of the ingredients within leave-in conditioners aid the hair at reflecting the heat, so it's not absorbing so much heat into the hair hair shaft, and this in return protects the hair against heat damage. You don't have to take my word for it. If you think me and Kimber are both lying and all of the other companies that say that they stuff isn't heat protected, then now, number 3, as I explained in the lecture on polymers, a polymer is going to protect and separate each strand of your hair, so that way each strand is protected. And when these strands are protecting each other, they're not linked and separated, they're not linking onto each other, you're not getting tangles as fast. That's why when you spray leave-in conditioner in your hair, blow drying your hair is a breeze, because it's giving you more flexibility and more manageability, because that polymer does its job. Again, if you need to understand more about that, watch that full broadcast. We're always talking about the hydration and moisture balance. Your leave-in conditioner is your hair's moisturizer. You guys, it acts as the protective barrier for the hair shaft, like we talked about earlier, and it lasts through the entire process. And then the next thing that you do when you add a thermal tool, right, if you're going to go up and add a thermal tool, then you use an additional thermal heat protectant, right, that you spray on. There are some thermal heat protectants that you can use on wet and dry hair. Those are not my favorites, but do your thug thizzle. But there are, that's all it's for. Then when you use your thermal leave-in when you use your thermal heat protectant, a thermal heat protectant are for thermal tools. It's for a thermal tool. Like, yeah, a blow dryer is a thermal tool, but not on the same level as a flat iron, because a flat iron don't get as cool as a blow dryer does. It don't. Styling your hair on a regular basis becomes so easy, whether you decide to do heat styling, a flexi rod set, roller set, a perm rod set, a flexi rod set, whatever it is that you decide to do, a leave-in conditioner is going to be pivotal. It is going to be number 1. And if you don't buy any other products, you should always have shampoo, conditioner, and leave-in conditioner, because your leave-in conditioner is your heat protectant. Your leave-in conditioner is your first moisturizer and hydrator, and it is imperative. So if you want to know even more, then make sure you go over to my blog, because as you can see here on my blog, I'm giving you guys a list of all of my favorite leave-in conditioners. Obviously, Kimber is the one that I talk about all the time, but there are so many good ones, and I can only use one. I'm not going to use all of them. I'm only going to use one. Kimber's the one that I picked. But let's say they stopped making Kimber. These leave-in conditioners here on my website are the ones that I would use if I couldn't get Kimber anymore, right? So I love you guys so much. And again, I'm not saying that Kimber is better than all of these. I'm not saying what's best and what's not. They are all freaking amazing. All of them are freaking amazing. So you just learned your scalp's profile, your porosity, and all of that, right? And then once you know your scalp's profile, your porosity, your sebum level, how active your sweat gland is, all of that stuff, right? Which you can learn all of that if you join the 7-day challenge. Link in the description box below. Through Sizzle, you can join for $25. But just so you know, right, you have so many different options as it pertains to leave-in conditioner. So if you want to figure out which leave-in conditioner is best for you, join the 7-day challenge. Or if you already know, and let's say you already a part of the 7-day challenge, you already know this, so I don't have to say that, but head over to my blog and look at all my favorite leave-ins. See you later, bye. And I don't care who feel away about this video, because we shouldn't have to have this conversation anyway.